Hi kids, new project time. I've got one or two that I haven't quite finished yet, but I'm ready to move on to this one. This is a Detrola model 568-1, and the interesting thing about these radios is that they're metal cabinet with a carrying handle on top. AM and some kind of shortwave band. I haven't really looked into what kind of shortwave band it is. But kind of an interesting radio, not a bad looking radio, just not really portable. You have to plug it in, doesn't run on batteries, but it's got a handle. You can move it around, good radio for a shop or something because they're very rugged, obviously. There's the back. I have the back of it off. The back is just, metal. It's all metal. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tubes, that's all. Detrola radio, model 568-1. Does have a built-in antenna on the back, but it also has a external antenna wire. Let me see if I can get the guts out of it here, and we'll take a look at it. Oh yeah, I forgot. Hang on, this is real tricky. Weasel this out of here. Okay. I just had the knobs sort of barely on there. They're bottle cap looking brown knobs, and a couple of them are, they've all warped a little bit over the years. A couple of them have chunks missing, But probably not going to be able to find replacements. Won't matter. They're good enough. They will do. I'll maybe, I could patch them up and whatnot, but it's probably not worth it. Just, we're just gonna, I've got this, in case you can't tell on your YouTube screen, is green. It's sort of a grayish green color, and when I'm done with it, it's going to be good and green. I've got some pale green hammer finish spray paint on the way. Was supposed to be here on Friday. Today is Sunday, so the tracking says it'll now be here tomorrow. I'm gonna have to, clean it up, do some sanding and stuff, get it evened out, and then we'll just, hammer finish shouldn't be too bad. You can see what's interesting about this is the chassis is isolated from the metal cabinet with these big rubber donuts. So we're going to have to make sure and replace those because we don't want a shock hazard. That's what they're there for, is to eliminate a shock hazard, so, or at least minimize it. So we will be putting new ones of those in. You can see a very nice glass dial I'm going to have to be really careful with, and I need to cover the speaker up right away before I put a hole in it, the whole bit. I got the garage door open and people are out there doing yard work and stuff. It's Father's Day. It's a beautiful day, so just if you hear a lot of noise, ignore it. Anyway, you better look at the guts outside the cabinet. Pretty standard 5-tube set, And then underneath, doesn't look like too much has been done to it. The electrolytic can was replaced at one point. But other than that, I imagine these Sangamo red caps are newer than these old brown paper ones. But for the most part, it hasn't been messed with too much. Last night I was just fooling around and I test fitted a terminal strip in here to it's where I'm going to mount the new electrolytics, and they're small. There's a 47 going to go in there. I can put that in there like that. It'll fit down in there where it'll be out of the way when you put it back in the cabinet, and a 22, which is even smaller, of course, and that'll go on the other side, and then we'll just connect everything to them, and they'll be out of the way. So that's gonna work really well. That'll be the first thing I do. I'm gonna disconnect everything from this can capacitor, everything on the positive side. I'll keep the negative connections going to the old can capacitor. It's one of those floating grounds, and it's perfectly fine to just reuse the old floating ground. So I'll do that. Pretty basic. I've tested it. Because of that newer electrolytic, it works. Doesn't work great, but it's nice to know. It's nice to know when you're starting out that it already works. So it does. So we're gonna get that put together, and just a basic little project. Be kind of fun. Just just because it's different, you know. There's your tuner works. You know, like I said, it won't take too much. I don't think if I can get a decent coat of that hammer finish paint on it and just do the electronics, it should be fine. So that's what that is. That'll be a fun project. I hope you'll stick with it. Stay tuned for part 2. Coming up probably, you know, once I get the electrolytics done and maybe one or two other things, we'll come back and I'll let you see where we're at and hear how it sounds. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching.